So with y'all boys and girls, it's your boy DZ. I'm here because I finally decided to press record. I finally decided to answer my calling, I'm saying, or what I feel to be my calling, and I'm saying start to share my life and share my experiences with you guys to help build something and help other people that's going through things that I've been through. Before I even get into anything, let me just say this is not about me. This podcast is for the ones that grew up without fathers. This podcast is for the ones that grew up without parental figures, mamas, daddies, you know what I'm saying? Or that's grew up in hostile environments or just environments that wasn't for kids, man. It wasn't kid friendly. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have the opportunity. This is for the ones that was told that you're not supposed to cry, suck that shit up, and all of that. This is for the ones that was taught that we had to suffer in silence and that we didn't have no voice growing up. That's not God's design, bro. That's not how we was designed. That might have been the cards that we was dealt, but that's not how we designed. I'm here to tell y'all that this podcast is meant to show y'all and tell y'all that you can ask for help, you can heal, you can rise. Even if the odds are stacked against you, you can still come out on top of them. And now I'm trying to build a space where vulnerability is strength. Talking is strength. There's power in opening up and telling people how you feel. There's power in letting people in to understand who you are. I'm learning as well as everybody else is learning. And in this space, in the brospective, all right, this is where we talk about God, growth, what it means to be a man in this world, and how it is to be a good partner, whether it's for your woman, whether it's for your man, or whether it's for yourself. And it's basically us figuring this out in a world that doesn't have the answers. So let's talk. Let's get into it. So what's up with y'all, bro? It's your boy DZ, and this is the Brospective, first episode. Reason why I called it the Brospective is because I am the middle sibling out of 5. I have 2 older brothers, or 2 older siblings, 2 younger siblings, older brother and sister, and a younger brother and sister. And I'm kind of put in that middle, right? Where your older siblings don't like to listen to you, and your younger siblings they don't like to listen to you neither. But somehow they always end up coming to you for advice, even if they don't take it, right? So that's pretty much what I thought about. And I wanted to start this, especially after I lost my brother. Rest in peace to my brother Bill. But pretty much most of my siblings ended up coming to me for advice and things like that, how to get over humps and bumps and issues. And that's something that put me in that, coming to get your brospective. And this podcast is for all ages. This ain't for people my age. This ain't for just anyone younger than me or anyone older than me. This is for everybody, young and old, male or female. Come talk to your bro. And I'm going to drop some gems on y'all. We're going to talk about things that I'm learning, you know what I'm saying? And ways that I can try and help you guys get through things, struggles that I'm going through, I have gone through, and how I'm able to overcome them, as well as being able to show y'all, you know what I'm saying, what I'm currently struggling with. So I don't plan on holding back here. I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the raw, I'm giving you guys the real. This is definitely a faith-based channel. We definitely gonna talk a lot about faith, family, self-growth, healing, trauma, wounds, some things that I've been struggling with, I had struggled with, some past things that I've been carrying, baggage and stuff like that. And we're gonna unpack all that stuff together. And I hope my mission is to touch each and every one of y'all, or at least people that need to hear. Like I said, I want to unpack these things and just be able to help somebody. So we're gonna be focusing on self-growth as well and cover all the aspects of life, being a dad, being a boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever that is, and what that entails, what it comes with, you know what I'm saying, struggles you may face. Because like I said, I'm just like any one of y'all. I'm no better than any one of y'all. And I just want to share my experience with you guys and hope that it ends up helping somebody younger or older than me, right? Because I'm right in the middle of it. All right, so in this season, first season, episode 1, I want to talk to you about stepping into purpose, right? And in the midst of that, doing a little bit of intel on myself, a little bit of backstory and things like that, right? So we're gonna start with a little bit of a backstory and why I'm even starting a podcast, right? And pretty much I've grown up, we're gonna say, in the typical boohoo, woe is me environment, right? And we're gonna unpack that. But I grew up pretty rough, you know what I'm saying? I had to grow up at a very young age at that, you know what I mean? And I feel like because I had to do that, I gained a lot of experience in life in this world. And let's just say it wasn't really nice to me. It wasn't pretty. I had to figure a lot of things out on my own. I didn't really have parental figures. I had them, but they weren't necessarily there. And that's not necessarily, I wouldn't say that's everybody's fault. I'm not one to blame everybody for anything. But as I grew up, you know what I'm saying, I find myself in these situations where I'm constantly helping people through things because I'm able to see things that they can't, right? I'm able to help people get past things that they're stuck on and push past boundaries that they weren't able to push past before. And this is just a little bit of a general backstory of everything so we can really get into the nitty gritty. And I would say here recently, it wasn't until my brother passed away to where I started to see these things really fall in place, right? So if most of you guys don't know, I'm a Twitch streamer as well. I play video games and things like that. And I end up having these conversations with people in Twitch and stuff like that as well. And they always end up telling me, I need to start a podcast. Or there's always random people coming up to me and telling me that I give them great advice. And I'm saying they need to come and talk to me more. And I've been told that you need to write a book with the stuff that you've been through and all of this stuff. And like I said, it wasn't until after my brother passed and I had to write a eulogy, right? I had to deliver a eulogy at my brother's service. And originally, I didn't want to do it. I asked my grandfather to do it because he is very familiar with that stuff. He's a pastor and all of that. And he didn't know if he was going to be able to do it. So I don't know what it was. It had to be God. All right. I know it was God. And he pretty much called me to do that eulogy, right? So I sat down, I was reading, I was praying, and I'm writing down this eulogy. But that day of the service, my grandfather showed up. He said he could have did the eulogy for me and I didn't have to. And I wasn't going to do it, but I ended up stepping up and actually delivering the eulogy. And when I delivered that eulogy, so many people came up to me after that eulogy and said that they felt what I was saying. And people that didn't even know me, people that wanted to get to know me, I made a lot of connections. And that was the first experience. The second experience was I didn't even deliver a eulogy. I just went up and spoke a few words at my cousin's funeral. Rest in peace, my cousin Charles. And I didn't have nothing scripted. I just went up there and I started speaking. And even after that, I had people that I never met come up to me and tell me, hey, I don't know you, bro, but I just want to say I really felt what you said up there. And I really appreciate you saying all that. And we really do need to stick together as a community. And that was another sign that, man, maybe I am called to speak to people. Maybe I am called to express myself in some way, shape, or form that will really help people. I don't know. And so that's where it started. And from there, I didn't really know what to do with that, right? And I think over time, it just kind of became a clear sign that you need to start a podcast. I'm just playing. From there, like I said, I'm a Twitch streamer and stuff. I started streaming and things. I was streaming a little bit before my brother, and after my brother died, after those two incidences where that idea of starting a podcast came up, I didn't know when, how I was going to start this podcast. I didn't know the name. I didn't know none of that, right? But I had it there. The idea was there. It popped up in my head. And even if I let it go, right, for some reason, it would still come up every now and then. And just to fast forward the process a little bit, I ended up running into some people at a job that I got, right? And they were pretty much telling me the same thing. Bro, you need to start a podcast, bro. You need to. And when they said that to me, it kind of like, you know what? I can't escape this thing. And pretty much I'm saying all that to get into from there, I had to start dealing with myself, right? Because in order to do a podcast or in order to even talk about problems like this, right? You got to somewhat expose yourself. You got to get naked, bro. And that could be scary and that could be difficult. I'm trying to tell you. So with this stuff happening, right, and the podcast being an idea, I knew I wasn't living right. And I'm not, if y'all know me, I'm not one to tell people what to do and not be the one to do it myself, right? And bro, I'm living wild. I'm doing things that I'm not supposed to do. I'm filling in gaps and I'm chasing dopamine and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm smoking, drinking, doing some other wild things and I'm not getting my life together, bro. So how am I going to talk to anyone else if I can't get my life together, right? It don't make no sense. And so I started getting in my Bible, bro. And I'm not really, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not really one to read the Bible, but I do have some Bible books that break down things for me. And my cousin ended up buying me, shout out to my cousin, ended up buying me a men's self-help book that referred to the Bible. And that really helped me a lot. So in my prayer, I was praying and talking to God, and I'm asking him, bro, how am I supposed to do something like this? You see the way I'm living. I'm saying, how am I supposed to do something like this? I don't want to expose myself like that. I like living a private life. I like being behind the scenes, right? I don't like people knowing that much about me. And that calls for me to change a lot of stuff. I'm saying, but if that's what I gotta do, I don't want to be preaching and be living a double life. I'm saying. And so I just started praying and asking God to put me around people that could change my environment and change the type of person that I am, right? Because I'm not liking who I am either. Feel me? So that's kind of what I did. And he literally started doing that. I ended up getting that new job I told y'all about and ran into two people that was faithful. You know what I'm saying, definitely doing things in moderation, having self-control, self-discipline, knowing how to control their emotions because they had supportive family members, right? And I'm starting to peep all this and it's starting to make sense to me. You feel me? Like it's really important to have not just your mama, but your father in your life. It's really important to have self-discipline. It's really important to make promises to yourself and keep them so you can build a relationship with yourself. These are the things that I feel like God was showing me. Jesus was unfolding for me, right? And I took it from there. And so pretty much I had to start working on myself. You know what I'm saying? And I had a bunch of slipbacks. I had a bunch of sticky situations, you know what I'm saying? And it took a lot of work, but I'm here. I don't have everything I need, but I'm here. I just jumped on this thing and I pressed record. You feel what I'm saying? I also had a desire. I've always had a desire to help people as well. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why I feel like this path kind of brought me here. You know what I'm saying? I've always been that supportive person. I've always been there for my siblings. I've always been there for my friends. You know what I'm saying? Anytime they need me, I'm the shoulder to call on. And sometimes I could be a heavy burden. It puts you in places where you could be abused and you could be used. And I also didn't have no discipline in that. You know what I'm saying? And I also had to work on that as well. And so the whole time I'm calling God and I'm talking to God and I'm asking for growth. And trust me, he gave me that by stripping everything from me, bro, and having me to rebuild myself from the ground up. And I'm still rebuilding myself. And I feel like this is the final step to jump fully into rebuilding myself and growth. And we definitely gonna talk about it. We're gonna get into it, trust me. But that's pretty much why I'm starting the podcast and a little bit of the backstory about me. Like I said, we definitely go get into the details, but this is definitely the main reasons why I started this podcast and why I'm doing this right now. So now that y'all got a little bit of backstory about the podcast and why I'm working on it, why I'm doing it, let's actually get into it, right? So this first season episode, I want to talk about stepping into your purpose, bro. What is stepping into your purpose? Purpose, period. How do you know that you're stepping into purpose? How do you know if you're running away from it, right? This is what I'm currently learning. This is what I've touched on. This is what I'm currently going through right now. And this is literally something that I definitely want to share with y'all and share my experiences. It might help y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all about. I'm going to talk to y'all for sure. So I'm going to start by saying, what does purpose mean to me, right? It probably means different things for a lot of people, but what does it mean to me, right? Purpose means stepping into something without having any answers. It's literally walking by faith, bro. It's starting something, stepping into something, and having no idea how to do it. You don't know the game. You've never played it, right? But yet here you are, walking that walk, talking the talk that you don't even know how, right? And figuring it out along the way. That's literally purpose. It's all wrapped in one. If you're scared to do it, but you still got to do it, like you feel called to do it, that's purpose, bro. Literally. And you're asking a million questions. Well, how do I do this? How do I set this up? What am I supposed to go over here? How am I supposed to do that? That's literally purpose, bro. I'm telling y'all. I'm trying to tell you, bro. It's literally trusting Jesus, bro. Trusting God in the unknown, right? If you out of nowhere, just we gotta pick up our bags and we gotta go to a new city. You just feel this calling to go to another city or another state. You scared, you don't know how you even gonna get there. You don't know how you gonna pay for the rent, find a place, get a car, get a U-Haul, do any of that stuff. But for some reason, why is this still on your mind? That's God, bro. That's Jesus telling you, trust me and do what you're supposed to do, bro. That's purpose, gang. I'm trying to tell you that's purpose, bro. And it's literally like it's like being obedient before being confident in yourself, right? The trusting that you're going in the right way without even being confident, right? Bro, do you know how many times I had to retake this? Do you know how many times I put this off, bro? It's because I didn't have the confidence. I still don't, gang. I still don't. But I'm here. I'm being obedient. You get what I'm saying? With no confidence. Obviously, it might look like I got some, but shit, boy, shake it in my boots right now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But purpose is literally trusting God, stepping into something without knowing any or how to, right? And it's literally being obedient and having no confidence. You're just doing something with no confidence, just trusting the unknown. You got to put your faith in God. You put your faith in Jesus, bro, right? And you just got to push and trust that everything's going to unfold the way it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what's happening right now. And that's what purpose means to me. I really hope what that means to y'all. But if it don't, and you don't know, then show telltale sign. You feel me? Show sign, sis. Show sign, bro. So that's pretty much what purpose is meaning to me right now. Now, this might be my purpose. This might not be my purpose. But I know if it's not my purpose, it's leading me to my purpose. You get what I'm saying? And that's something I trust, bro. That's something you gotta trust and you gotta be open to learning along the way. You know what I'm saying? If the opportunity presents itself, you just gotta jump out there. Look, this is what I used to tell my friends, bro. My friends, my brothers, my sisters, everybody. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If you ever come to a place, right, where you gotta jump off the cliff, so you and somebody else, and you ever gotta jump off the cliff, right? Y'all supposed to go together, and you stand on the edge of the cliff. If you feel that fear feeling in your gut right here, jump in the water. Feel me? Because once you jump in that water, it's gonna be cold, but it's gonna wake something up in you. It's gonna wake something up in you. And once that wake up, you ain't got no choice but to swim, baby. You in cold water. If you don't swim, you gonna drown. If you don't swim, you gonna get cold. You gonna die. You gotta swim your ass off, right? But once you start swimming, guess what? The water get warm and your body get hot. The water don't seem so cold no more. Then you started build that endurance to start swimming, bro. But you gotta keep swimming now because you didn't already swam too far. You can't go back now. You gotta keep swimming. You feel what I'm saying? If you stop, you're gonna drown. You can't turn around. But if you keep swimming, bro, you're gonna end up reaching land, dog. And when you reach that land, you're gonna discover something new. You're gonna discover something new on the land. You're gonna discover something new within yourself. And I guarantee you, when you turn back and look, you ain't gonna see nobody. But whatever you discover and you take back with you, they gonna be asking you how you did it. When they were supposed to go with you. But see, you can't take them. You can't take everybody with you. And that's what I had to learn. You can't take everybody with you. Feel me? And saying that means you gotta be willing to hit that pivot, bro. Now opportunity comes, you gotta make that pivot, right? And it's like a pivot to grow. If you don't make that pivot to grow, bro, you're gonna be stuck forever, running in the same circle. That's literally you just running in a circle, bro. But when that opportunity comes, you get to go another way. And that's what I'm saying. You gotta make that pivot. Once you make, and that's literally that cliff moment that I'm telling y'all. When you get to the edge of that cliff, bro, that's that pivot point. You make that pivot and you get up out of there. Now you're able to turn back and see everybody else running in the same circle. And I feel like another thing that shows that this might be my purpose, right? Or might not. Like I said, another thing is we just gotta see, bro, right? It's letting the journey unfold for you instead of trying to predict the outcome of your destination or trying to control your destination. I don't know where this is going. I know where I would want it to go, right? Everybody knows where you want something to go, but you don't know where you don't know where it's gonna go. You think you know everything every single day, nigga, but you don't. You literally wake up and you think you're going to work. You wake up, you think you're going home, but you really don't never know, bro. You could wake up and think you're going to end up at work and then be on the side of the road fixing a tire. You thought it was just going to be a normal day at work. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You never know. It's the same thing. So if you had to make that pivotal direction, right, you're not necessarily going to be able to control the outcome anyways, even if you try to. You don't know. So you just got to roll with it. That's all I'm saying, bro. So with that being said, with this podcast, bro, that's what we're here to talk about. That's what we're here to unwrap, right? Jesus, discipline, emotional intelligence, growth, right? That's what we're here for. And we got big plans for this. I got plans for it. I hope I hope me and Jesus got the same plans along, right? Solo talks, y'all gonna see me a lot. Hopefully we can get some other guests in here, have some real interviews and some real conversations and really talk about some controversial stuff. I'm trying to get into this. So I'm gonna be trying to do this at least once a week or bi-weekly. I'm trying to stack some videos, you feel me? But I just want to make it real. I want to make it raw. I want to make it authentic, right? I want to make it tailored to me and those that need that kind of energy from me. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what we got cracking off in here. And I'm excited for it. A little nervous, but I'm excited for it. Definitely scared. And this is just to encourage y'all, bro. At the end of the day, if you got a calling and you've been trying to avoid it, right? This is your call to action right now. These are words of encouragement. You don't have to have it figured out right now, shorty. You don't have to have it figured out right now, buddy. But you got to jump out there. You got to start doing it. You got to answer that calling. How do you know you're running from your calling? You're running from it every day you wake up and you think about it. And then you try to tell yourself to forget it. Or it might have subsided a little bit. You might have forgot about it. And then when you by yourself, whether it's driving to work, driving home from school, laying in your bed at nighttime, it come back in a form of a thick feeling. Why haven't you done this yet? Man, why can't I do this? Why haven't I done that yet? You know what I'm saying? That's a real feeling. And you know what? I'm going to share an experience with y'all one day on what really brought me here. But that's how you know you're running from your purpose, bro. If you cannot shake this feeling, no matter how many times you try to avoid it, it comes back. And you wake up feeling upset, or out of nowhere, you just get upset and you feel like, I'm not going nowhere. You going out with your friends, right? You got a cool little relationship. You making money. You got a nice job. But for some reason, you just don't feel fulfilled. You feel empty still. Like there's something that's not, you still need something, right? Turning you into a clingy ass person. You cling to your friends. You cling to your vices. You cling to your relationships because you overcompensated for something that you just been just ignoring. That's how you know that you running from your purpose. You gotta stop running from your purpose. Shawty. Come on now, gang. Feel what I'm saying? Y'all gotta get to it, bro. And like I said, this is encouragement, bro. This is your calling to get to it. You feel me? Step into your purpose. You don't have to have it figured out. I'm literally recording on my iPhone right now. You know what I'm saying? And a tripod. So there's no excuse. You can start with nothing. So that's what I'm saying. You definitely got to step into your purpose. And I don't care who I'm talking to, right? This is for you if you young, you know what I'm saying? Little man. This is for you if you teenager, you my age. Get to it. Whatever passions you got, get to it. If you like to draw, you like sports, get on it, right? If you in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, bro, and you've been avoiding that's kind of crazy because you've been knowing, you've been called to action and you just been straight avoiding it. That's crazy, bro. Nah, not here, all right? But that's pretty much it. Like I said, y'all, look, if you don't know how to step into your purpose, right, just do it. Like Nike, baby. You just got to do it. That's literally it. You got to trust Jesus. Put your faith in Jesus. Put your faith in God. Don't worry about the outcome. You can't control it no way. Jump in the water and start swimming. If you've been avoiding it, stop fighting the feeling. Just get to it. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, we're not doing that here. But if y'all enjoyed the content, y'all enjoyed this message, y'all enjoyed the talk, you feel me? Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'm definitely working on putting this out on actual podcast apps for you to listen to. That's my plan. We're going to see how it go. I do appreciate y'all for taking y'all time out to listen to the boy, listen to the bro. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this first episode. Stay tuned because I got some more juiciness for the second episode. We gonna get into it. I'll be having snippets and stuff like that to post. Y'all stay tuned, man. We got a lot of stuff to unpack here. Again, thank you so much for tuning in and just listening. And before I get out of here, like I said, step into your purpose. Nobody can make you do it but you, right? God's been calling you. He's been whispering to you in them silent moments when you by yourself. Bro been talking to you. He been calling the phone. It's time to pick up, just like me. But I love y'all. Your boy, I'm going to get up out of here. I'll see y'all in the next one, man. Peace.